Hello everyone, my name is Ronika Yusuf and today I will talk about one of the most remarkable evolutionary adaptations in the animal kingdom, which is polymorphism in Cnidaria. This concept is fundamentally about the division of labor, where simple creatures have evolved into complex colonies, each member specialized in a single vital job. Let us start with the definition, what actually polymorphism is. It is simply the existence of more than one distinct body type or zooid within a single species or colony. Critically, all these zooids are genetically identical. This phenomena is most striking in the class Hydrozoa. The key takeaway here is the division of labor. Like organisms in a single body, these zooids specialize in specific tasks: feeding, defense, movement, or reproduction. This high degree of specialization allows the entire colony to function as a single, highly efficient superorganisms, an ecological individual. Before we look at the specialized forms, we must understand the two basic blueprints in all Cnidarians. These are the polyp and medusa. The polyp or hydroid is generally the sessile, stationary forms, typically attached to a substrate. Think of a sea anemone or a hydra. While as the medusa or jellyfish is the free-swimming, bell-shaped form, it's built for life in the open water or a pelagic life. We will first look at the specialized polypoid forms, those designed for a stationary colonial life. The most essential zooid is the gastrozooid, also called the trophozooid, tropho meaning food. This is the feeding zooid. It looks like the classic polyp with a mouth and tentacles. Its job is straightforward: capture and ingest prey. The crucial part is that the food it digests isn't just for itself. The nutrients are shared with the entire colony through a network of canals called the choanosorc. Next, we have the specialized defender, the dactylozooid or palpon. Dactylo refers to finger, which describes its long tentacle-like shape. It is distinctive because it lacks a mouth. It cannot feed itself. Its sole purpose is defense and sensation. These zooids are heavily armed with batteries of nematocytes, the powerful stinging cells which they use to paralyze prey or ward off any potential predators threatening the colony. Finally, in our polypoid group, we have a gonozooid, the reproductive zooid. Gono refers to reproduction. This zooid is often club-shaped and typically lack both a mouth and feeding tentacles. As its energy is solely dedicated to reproduction, its function is to produce new individuals asexually. It does this by budding off either more polyps or, more commonly, the free-swimming sexual medusae, which are sometimes called gonophores. Now we shift our focus to the medusoid zooids, those highly specialized forms built for life in the open ocean, particularly in colonial groups like the cephalospores. The first is the nectophore or nectocalyx. This is the locomotion unit. It is a muscular bell-shaped structure similar to a regular medusa, but without feeding or reproductive organs. These zooids contract in unison across the colony, providing a coordinated jet propulsion system allowing the entire colony to move, hunt, and navigate. One of the most dramatic specialization is the nematophore, which act as the float. Nemato means air or gas. This is essentially a large gas-filled sac, a modified inverted medusa bell. You can see this prominently in the Portuguese Man-O-War. Its function is pure buoyancy, keeping the entire colony suspended near the water surface where it can fish for prey. The last specialized medusoid form is the phyllozoid or bract. Phyllo means leaf. These are leaf-like or shield-shaped protective covering. They don't have the direct function in feeding or movement, but their role is vital. They act as a shield, covering and protecting the more delicate essential zooids like the feeders and the reproducers beneath them. The slide also mentions that while the gonophore is medusoid in origin, in complex colonies, the structure bearing them is often clustered with other polyp components. Now, levels of polymorphism. This specialization occurs across a spectrum of complexity. We can categorize this into three levels: monomorphism, dimorphism, metagenesis. Monomorphism, one form. This is the simplest, where only one zooid type exists, like a solitary hydra or a sea anemone. The second one is dimorphic. This is two form. Here we have two distinct types, typically the basic polyp feeding and the medusa reproduction. Obelia is the classic example for this. Then the third is metagenesis. This is related, describing the alternation of generations, where the asexual sessile polyp stage alternate with the sexual free-swimming medusa stage. As we have seen with the cephalospores, many group exhibits polymorphism with 3, 4 or even more distinct forms. Now let us move to highly modified polymorphism, the cephalophores. This group, which includes the famous Portuguese Man-O-War, exhibits the highest degree of polymorphism. They have multiple zooid types, sometimes 4 or more, functioning in perfect harmony. This specialization is so extreme that biologists often compare the colony not to a group of individuals but to a single complex multicellular body where the zooids are essentially specialized organs. They are even organized into repeating modular clusters called Cnidaria along a central stem. Now, evolutionary theories of origins. How did this extreme division of labor evolve? There are two main competing theories. The first one is the Polymorphism theory. This is the simpler view. It argues that the colony began at an aggregation of similar individuals independent, likely polyps. Over time, these individuals become more interdependent and specialized, leading to the polymorphism. They were once individual that became parts. The second theory is the polyorgan theory. This proposes the opposite. It suggests that the ancestral form was a single, complex individual, likely a medusa. Polymorphism arose as the organs of this single ancestor multiplied and became displaced externally. They were once organs that became semi-independent individuals. To conclude, the central theme of the polymorphism in Cnidaria is the drive towards division of labor. This specialization offers huge benefits. It provides functional efficiency, allowing the colony to capture much larger prey, achieve wider dispersal via medusoid forms, and adapt quickly. Groups like the cephalophores represent an incredibly evolutionary pathway, a unique form of structural complexity that stands distinct from the cellular specialization we see in higher animals. It's an excellent system for studying how a single set of genes can produce radically different structures based on function. Thank you very much for your attention.